What's happening, So Fam? It's Tarot Tuesday. You already know what time it is. Alright, so this is a part 2-ishness video. So basically, last week you were supposed to pick rather the angel of the unseen, the angel of life, or the angel of knowledge. There is an angel underneath each one that's going to be guiding you this week. So pick which angel you might have picked in our last reading, and if this is your first time coming in, don't worry. Just pick the angel of the unseen, the angel of life, or the angel of knowledge. And then this particular deck that's underneath each one is going to basically come out to be your reading, all right? Then we have these alternate energies that are here on the outside, which are the next coming energies that are coming in. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, press that notification button, join us on Patreon, and if you're looking for one-on-one coaching to become the best healer in the world, go ahead and check out the links in the description below for one-on-one coaching to tap into all of your psychic abilities to heal yourself and other people. All right, are you ready? Okay, I hope that you picked out a specific angel, right? And if you haven't seen this video just yet, you can always go on Patreon and you can follow up last week's video as well with this. So we're going to start off with the angel of the unseen. The angel of the unseen brings us right into the angel of Taurus, all right? So it's basically saying that you're going to have to step into like this high vibrational, headstrong, grounding, earthy energy. Now, Taurus energy is really, really strong right now. So for the people that picked out this first deck, that's what you're most in alignment with right now, with this grounding sensation. You're becoming aware of specific things. You're maybe taking action in new ways that you weren't able to do previously. Maybe you're being more vocal. You're standing up for your own self-worth, stuff like that, okay? So we're going to go right from Taurus. We're going to start off at Jupiter. So all the cards that are like this are going to be yours if you picked these two. The angel of the unseen also reminds us to use our higher senses. So make sure that you're still relying on your higher senses. Make sure that you're also using the energy of Taurus to be very grounded. Now, in Jupiter, we have Thoth, okay? Thoth is coming out with that energy of Mercury, which Mercury is over here. It'll give us a little bit more of an insight as to your abundance. We have the Het. So basically it's Hathor. So what it's saying here is like your abundance is going to really be opening up if you open up your heart. Hathor is about the goddess of love, and she's the goddess of unity and living from the heart space, right? She's also very tied to beauty as well. Thoth is the god of writing, of wisdom, of sacred geometry, of like the secrets of the cosmos. It's through Thoth that a lot of light work has presented itself in today's society. Not all of it, but a lot of it, right? Like the Merkaba, stuff like that. A lot of that comes from Thoth himself. So if you picked out this deck, you're in a very powerful position, because this is saying that you're able to use your higher senses right now, meaning like you're psychically amped with the angel of the unseen. The angel of the Taurus is telling you that you can use that energy to really create your reality and really make a solid foundation, while understanding that this is part of the wisdom when you live from your heart. This is saying continue to live from your heart, and you're going to see more and more results come through. So then we're going to come through with Mars, okay? Because Mars is over here as well, and it's basically telling you to have a specific vision in your sight. Like, make your mark, choose a goal, go after that goal. The second card up top here is another Earth card, which is basically reminding you that there's a moment right now for a garden to come into fruition. There's a ton of possibilities that are available for you if you decide to be fertile. You start taking action, you start making changes, okay? So this is a lot of like also Aries energy that presents itself with the first reading. It's basically just saying Nefertitum is this ability to be able to take action. Like if you really want to be a YouTuber, you got to start learning how to properly tag your videos. You got to make a video. You got to get over the fear that you have of being on camera, in front of a bunch of people who you don't know how they're going to react over your content, right? You have to be willing to put in the effort to pull out fertility from your projects. Doesn't matter what it is. If you're not taking steps towards it, how is it a part of your reality? If it's still in your head, it has not materialized. And a lot of times we think an idea has to materialize when it's fully put in place, right? Like you want to have the house and the car and the dream and all of that, right? You put that you put that as your manifestation, and you're like, oh, it's not manifested until I have all of those elements, right? But part of it being manifested is you saying, okay, well, I want the car and the house and the dream, so I'm gonna start going after the dream, which is going to get me to the house, and I'm going to start looking for the car right now because that's the first thing that I can start tackling, right? Having that wisdom to ground yourself, to use what you have in this moment, to be in flow essentially with that divine wisdom working from your heart, knowing that you can get whatever you want if you're being honest with yourself. That's the other thing that's really, really, really crazy. It's like you have to be really honest with yourself, and that's usually when you get the bigger manifestations, is because you're no longer creating this resistance of escapism or being ignorant of a specific vibration that's hitting you in your reality, right? It's a very good thing to be doing right now if you're practicing a lot of like quantum heart technique, if you're practicing anything that's heart chakra based. That's all going to be great for you. Septet is telling you to embrace the warrior within at Neptune. You are a spiritual warrior. It is time to start acting like it. It is time for you to know that the cosmos works for you on your behalf, and as long as you are in harmony with yourself, the cosmos will start delivering your answers. This is a good time for you to start practicing Antojai Alchemy. If you already know how to do Antojai Alchemy, this is the 11th key, the 11th chapter, right? If you're practicing Quantum Reiki, my Quantum Reiki, this is a good time to be practicing the life key. It's also really good to be practicing maybe the quantum key as well. That's really good energy right there. So we're going to go into the earth vibration. Earth tells us Mafdet. There's a portion of you that is still in chains, or you recently released from chains or bondage. Okay, so we're going to, I don't know, I try to say Chains, and I say Change for some reason. So bondage. There's a part of you that's in bondage, and it basically has just most recently been released, or it is still on the brink of being released. And that bondage could be self-sabotage. That bondage could be, you know what's going on in your life. Like you need to look at what your bondage is, and then let yourself be free from that, regardless of what's going to happen afterwards. Let yourself be free from it so you can actually embrace higher manifestation. We're coming through at Pluto. Pluto is bringing Afneteru, which is basically your soul is realigning itself. It's reweighing itself with the rest of the contents of your reality. So one of the things that you should be doing right now is asking yourself what it is that you want to be expressing from soul level. One objective, one thought, make it happen, right? So how do we end up doing that though? Like how do you end up figuring it out? Check out my Star of Lakshmi exercise on Patreon or on YouTube that will help you tap into your soul purpose. And it's an exercise that's directed specifically to that. But usually your soul purpose is tied to one word that really creates an experience that you've always wanted to have, right? An experience that can trickle into everything that you manifest into your life. So what's the difference between really knowing that kind of energy on manifesting at a higher level versus manifesting at a lower level? Manifesting at a lower level is saying, I'm going to get the car, and when I get the car, I'm going to be happy. Manifesting at a higher level is saying, I'm going to always manifest happiness. And if I'm always manifesting happiness, then obviously the car is going to come as part of me expressing happiness. And it might not be that same exact car. It might be a totally different car that makes me even happier than what I originally thought of, right? changing your manifestations from goals to experiences or existences is the key here for you to really like change the constitution of your soul and living from more soul purpose. Saturn, which is usually resistance, reminds us of Ujit, which is basically just saying, you know, there's a deep rooted power that's coming out inside of you, and it's not just coming out for you, it's coming out for the world. And it's at this time where if you can really focus on controlling your emotions, controlling how you respond to things, living from your most authentic heart space level that honors your soul, that's where the good juice is. That's where like the taming of your mastery of manifestation and reality is. Then we come back to Venus. Venus has to do with love. The energy of Geb comes out, and Geb is essentially associated to the earth and like coming back into like a fertile ground, coming back to that Taurus energy. Taurus is very earthy energy, and that's kind of like what's guiding you at this current moment. Finally, we have Satet with Uranus, and Uranus is reminding you not to feel like you're unprotected, not to give in to any fears, not to be afraid of change, not to be afraid of anything. Just do what's necessary and know that you're going to get paid out when you do it, right? If you've been afraid of making that move, make that move. You're going to get a bigger payout by making the move than you would be not making the move, okay? And you got to do everything from this space of like just saying, okay, I'm divinely protected in everything that I do. We have Newt, again, kind of confirming that the cosmos is guiding you during this time to your highest resolution, your highest state possible. These people are very much so channeling the energies of the emanation of the crown, which is the emanation of building a kingdom, essentially, building like stability, building a life force. But it also has a little bit of diving into this energy of the storm. The storm is usually just the rustling of it all, right? The change of it all, the movement of it all. And a storm doesn't always have to be a bad thing. It can be really tranquil, beneficial even. It's just more so, you know, you're the one that's creating the storm. So if you allow yourself to be in harmony with the kingdom that you want to create, everything's going to come out exactly as planned. All right. So we're going to level 2, all right? This is the deck that we're going to be reading. Good vibes for the people who read their first deck. This is if you picked the Angel of Life. You ended up getting the Angel of the Storms, okay? Just talking about storms right now, right? That's one of the major energies that's going to be coming through. If you pick this deck, you're about to step into some sort of internal management that has to be done, or you are already going through it, right? Like if you're going through like some sort of a massive change in your reality, then you're already in the storm. If you haven't gotten there, then you're going to do more of a personal shift. If you're experiencing it now, it could be a mixture of personal shifting and like the material universe. If you're experiencing it right after this reading, it's going to be more so internal, like subconscious, unconscious work. So then we're going to be reading all the cards that have this energy. The main energy for you guys, if you pick the Angel of Life and correcting yourself from any blockages that are happening in your reality, is to stay balanced with the craft. Keep working on yourself. Right now is the time for you to go do yoga. Right now is the time for you to stop eating out. Right now is the time for you to, watch more content that's going to make you grow. It's about you sharpening your skills, sharpening yourself during the times of these storms. Doesn't matter what gets thrown at you, rather you have a shady client or something else like that, you know that that's just part of something else clearing. Clear yourself. Everything else will come as a byproduct, okay? So then we're going to go down to Earth is the first energy that I'm being told to go towards. Right now, don't worry about any finances. Just relax a little bit. Okay, that's taken care of, even if it doesn't seem like it is. Neptune is telling you this is a lot about subconscious transformation, a lot of like self-analysis, looking at yourself, being real with yourself. We have the vibrations of Mars that come out with the Queen of Wands. Again, don't worry if things have seemed like a setback out of nowhere. That's just part of the storm. You're just learning how to reorient yourself. Stay focused on your goal, okay? Ground that goal. You have a ton of possibilities that are coming your way right now. Just because you're in the storm, all right, does not mean that you cannot have the life that you want to be creating, okay? This is very, very important. Even if you cannot see through the mist, you have to have faith that the universe is rebalancing itself for you. If you can do that, you're going to have more abundance. And that abundance is tied to the love, the energy that you've been trying to curate for a while. This is how you're going to pay it out, okay? And let me tell you something. I told you that the abundance was going to be good before I even pulled out the card and looked at it. Haven't looked at it until now when I started reading for you, okay? So it's very clear here, like, doesn't matter what it is, the storm is just an illusion. It's just something you gotta wait out, right? Sometimes there's a blizzard outside or it's raining like crazy and you don't want to get drenched. So what are you gonna do? You're just gonna cuddle up inside. You're gonna drink a little bit of coffee. You might watch, something on TV real quick to get you stimulated. And when the rain calms down, you go outside, right? But one of the main things with this shift in your abundance and like your reality during this time of the storm is just like the changes are going to be hyper focused on your perception, okay? So like if you're focusing on the fact that like, oh, I lost a client today, you know what I mean? You're going to manifest way more clients leaving or having hiccups like that than you would be if you weren't focusing on that, right? If you keep the mentality that like, okay, that shift is just part of the energy, okay, whatever, it happened for the greater good, it's all going to make sense to me a little bit later. You're living from that space, things will be at the highest ratio for you. They tell you to keep in your heart community and building community and trusting community and allowing yourself to grow outside of your normal comfort zone in general. The shadow is reminding you that even though you can create right now, you know how things are being wired out for you, not to be like too overzealous with your creations. Don't ask for too much. Not saying that you can't have it all. That's not what we're saying here. It's just basically saying like, when you lose track of too many manifestations, like they'll collide and you may not get any of them, okay? Because sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I want to live a really happy life. Like my thing is I want to be super happy. And then you think being super happy is then having, the 40-room mansion. And in reality, those two things oppose each other, because in one reality, when you get the 40-room mansion, that causes you a lot of stress, but you actually wanted to be happy, so they're going to counteract with each other, right? You may not get either because you're mixing your message to the cosmos. You have to make it really, really clear that, okay, I want to experience happiness, right? And happiness to me is feeling relaxation and having more space in my home and, being somewhere where it's quiet, like paint the picture and leave the other smaller details to the cosmos and things are going to pan out for you. Don't try to like say like, oh yeah, the cosmos is like backing me up. I'm going to ask for the Maserati and I'm going to ask for all the hoes. And no, don't do that right now. You don't even know if that's what you really want at the end of the day. You have an idea maybe, but what if it's not it? So don't fall into the prey of don't fall into the illusion. Just allow yourself to be in the highest state possible of thinking of the greater existence. If you do that, you have the energy of Aries, which again, Aries is popping out over here as well, which is pretty much just telling you stay focused on one specific goal that's going to bring you all the things you're looking for. And while you're going through that, just know everything's going to pan out mentally, cosmically to your favor. This is a lot of just like clarity. You don't need to do anything other than just not be greedy. and know that everything's working to your favor. That's pretty much it. Stay focused on that. Accept things that are happening, even if they don't make sense. Just do the best that you can with it. Keep moving forward. You got the huge payout as long as you stay focused on yourself and you don't get caught up in the drama. Okay, that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, compared to the people who did the first energy, it's very similar, but they still have to do a little bit of like shadow work. So these people are just good. They've been in the shadow work already. Like, these people have been in the storm. They're about to get out on the other side. With these people right here, they're kind of like now just getting into the storm a little bit. So deck 3, if you pick this deck. Okay. You pick the Angel of Knowledge, and that brings the Angel of the Mountain, another earthy energy, okay? So the energy of the mountain, no one can move him. He is solid as a rock, and his presence alone, the fact that he cannot be moved, is his power. It speaks volumes of his character, and it speaks volumes of what he's capable of, right? So the Angel of the Mountain with the Angel of the Knowledge is almost like stating like it's time for you to like really own what you're good at. Own what really vibrates with you the most. Here we have the Prince of Cups, which is essentially just reminding you, to enjoy your life at this time, sitting with the knowledge again, right? Like, you're just sitting with that knowledge and you're living in it, you're applying it in that way that should bring you some sort of tranquility and peace that helps you move forward in your reality. Oops, just dropped one. Then we go directly to Earth, because Earth was associated with this vibration. We have the Six of Swords. You are moving past something that has been causing you a lot of limitation recently at a foundational level, which is perfect because you become, again, aware. That indicates that you have a lot of success coming your way. Neptune is then reminding you just to stay balanced with this knowledge. Like, don't let it go. Don't let it sway you. Don't let other people sway you. Don't let yourself be swayed by anything. Work mostly on walking away from the pains in your heart is one of the key things here. Like, you've gained knowledge, but there's still some pain in your heart, and you're going to get blessings, but what are blessings if you still have that pain in the heart? It's one of the main things. Your blessings that are going to be coming through are the Sevens of Cups. They're not going to seem almost real. It's almost going to feel like, you have an excess of things coming through, but hey, that's not a bad thing. You ask and you receive, and sometimes the cosmos gives you a little bit more than what you originally asked for, and that's always a good thing. So as long as you're just like mostly right now just focusing on the fact of keeping your balance, keeping your knowledge, and just like letting go of any like heartbreak that you may be holding on to, that'll probably be the best course of action for you. With Mercury basically saying that the Princess of Pentacles, don't be too rash, and definitely don't allow yourself to get caught up in how things are manifesting. Yeah, you're going to be learning a lot about manifesting. You're going to be learning a lot about how to be the best version of yourself, but don't get caught up on like the how. It's a lot of this energy of like focus on why it is that you've been carrying a lot of this like heart issue, heartache, sorrow, whatever it is that you've been carrying in the heart. It's time to like release it. Like, think of your pains as beings that are perpetually being tortured. Okay, that's a really great technique for people to like apply in energy healing. Is like meditate and think of every part of you that's still tormented, that's pained, and think of it as a person. And you have the ability to free that person, but you haven't. So do you like torturing that person? If you do, what are your ethics? Because if you were aware that everything is multidimensional, why would you torture another aspect of yourself by keeping them ransom to a story that only subscribes them to pain? Most people don't think about that, and it's like, what? It's crazy when you think about the mathematics of it all, right? So then we go over to Pluto. Pluto is coming through and it's reminding you that you have the King of Pentacles. Lots of blessings coming your way. Don't there's no avoiding it, right? They told you were going to be debauched over here. You have a lot of blessings coming in over here. In a way, this is telling you to, like, be wise with the blessings that are coming through, because at the end of the day, the future is being dictated by your current action. So, enjoy it, but also be wise with it. Don't spend it all when it comes through, because you do want to be able to use it for greater manifestations. In the Saturn range, we have the Nine of Swords, which is tied to cruelty. Again, some sort of heartache. And considering that it's directly across from the heartache, okay? When you're able to let go of whatever this concept is right here, whatever torture it is, maybe you're in love with somebody and they're not ready to be in a relationship with you, and you're holding on, hoping for the best, wondering, holding your breath, and it's not going to happen. You're causing yourself some sort of heartache, right? You're subscribing to that pain at a shadow level because you don't see your own worth, right? So you have to be able to say, okay, this doesn't work for me. I'm going to walk away from it. Not out of bad blood or anything like that. I'm just going to do what's best for me, right? And you got to look at every situation. Like if you're in a job, or you're doing some sort of habit that doesn't make you feel empowered. Maybe you've been eating processed foods for months now for dinner because you're too lazy to cook for yourself, and you've been feeling like crap and you're gaining weight. Maybe it's time to change what that heartache's really about, right? Like, do you not love yourself enough to cook for yourself? And then you're going to complain about feeling overweight. That doesn't really make sense, right? And that is a form of heartache. Most people don't even look at it that way. But if you can't even love yourself to make a promise to yourself, how are you able to love other beings at a higher vibrational state? You can't even apply it to yourself. Now, we go into Venus. Venus reminds us of the High Priestess energy. You're balancing positive and negative. That is what you're doing right now. It's not a bad vibe. Uranus tells you again, Nine of Pentacles, just gain. Girl, if you are on this one right here, you have so much money coming your way. You had 3 money signs. Everything else is in alignment. You are at your peak right now. Enjoy every second of it. Feel gratitude. I feel excited for you because I'm over here right now. I'm on level 1 over here. So good job. Everybody's got good vibes so far, these people have a shit ton of blessings coming through. These people, they're going through the storm, they're doing their work, they just have to stay focused, you know what I mean? And then these people right here, it's about being more grounded and accepting the things that are coming through and living from a place of love. It's great energy. The final energies that are coming through for everybody is just stay focused, right, on your goals. Make sure that you understand that it doesn't matter how much uncertainty there is right now, you are going to have community and you're going to have the kingdom that you're looking for. That's what we're shifting into. You can be on this side of reality, which is basically always questioning what's going to happen tomorrow, or you can be on this side of reality that states, okay, it's all working for me, So don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, press that notification box so you don't miss a beat. Go ahead, follow us on social media, Instagram and on TikTok. Support us on Patreon. Your support is very helpful for creating more courses and content, and our podcast as well. So I'm sending you all the love. I can't wait to see you on Patreon in our weekly classes every Thursday and Saturday. Talk to you later.